This video is for comedy purposes only. FullMetal Alchemist Brotherhood is my favourite anime of all time.
What is that?
It was an old logging road that passed through the mountains to the north area, but there were too many rock slides, so they had to close it down. Why do you ask?
Snubbed?
Ed, you were so uncoordinated.
Yeah, Ed. Clearly you slipping had nothing to do with the snow and ice. Opens the door, letting the cold in, but also potentially visibly giving away his position instead of just using the window in the door. Kimberly decides his sense of style is more important after he takes his hat into heavy winds for a battle. You also decided that you just had to keep your hat, so now you've had to fight with only one hand.
Be warned, I won't coddle you because you're children.
How does she know Al is a child, given that he's just an empty suit of armour? And if she does know about the two of them and who they are, then why treat them with all this suspicion?
How could the people at Central let these two run around loose? Get out of here right now!
Unnecessarily rude.
That doctor said people around here have a lot of things to hide too. So what are you hiding, Major?
That he's deaf.
Eventually, I just came right out and asked her.
This is Briggs. No matter what happens, this territory must not fall. Every soldier here must be both strong and flexible. You must move as one cohesive unit, following me, your leader, in all things and at all times.
Did she set up those guys behind her beforehand, or was it just a spur-of-the-moment coincidence that just happened to look good?
Survival of the fittest in action. Your luck was strong, so you survived.
I don't think luck has ever had anything to do with survival of the fittest.
Homunculus!
That tattoo is on his back. How the hell did you see it from that direction when he's facing you? Nice of Ed to give them a hand.
Give me a hand.
Brother!
You too, Tin Man.
Hey, hold on! We can't just...
Taking child abuse to new levels.
Good! It's working! Rotate! Turn right!
Yes, sir.
At that angle, Sloth would have just been slammed to the right of the tank, whereas here he simply pushed forwards. I know Buccaneer is strong, but being able to easily flip a guy who was able to resist practically 3 tanks is sinful. Plus, if he had this kind of power, they likely wouldn't have even needed the tanks to move him into the lift in the first place. For some reason now, the tank's shell was able to really blast him backwards, whereas earlier he was shrugging him off with ease.
We helped you! Why are you doing this?
You were forced to. That was just the excuse you needed to fight, right? Besides which, I'm not letting you go anywhere until you explain exactly what that thing was and what it wanted.
Talking at a normal volume when Ed and Al are no longer anywhere near you.
Thank you.
That's 100 cents.
This dude doesn't know Al is empty inside and doesn't make him a cup of coffee at the same time like a dick.
You tell me what to do again and you'll never leave this hospital.
Miles being a badass equals a sin removed.
This should be far enough. You, dismount.
Sloth simply tearing away at rocks managed to create a perfectly oval-shaped hole in the ground. Also, who laid the train tracks?
First, there's July 1588 in Rivier.
Okay, Rivier. Next.
October 1661.
We don't need dates, dude. Just locations.
I had spoken to Edward Elric. I told him that maybe he would be able to find the truth hidden within the truth. 3 truths. First, that the ingredients for a Philosopher's Stone are live humans. Second, that there is a group of beings seeking to create an enormous stone.
Sounds like something you could have just come out and said. I know who's winning Dad of the Year award.
Of course, it's still a top-secret operation. So close this hole and guard our secret. I'm counting on you, soldiers.
If you filled in the hole, there would no longer be a complete circle by the end of it. Leaving 2 innocent soldiers in the snow without protection because f*** you, we needed your coats.
Now that that's done, get in touch with Major Miles.
Sir!
The rest of you, we have work to do!
General.
Does she kill people and wipe the blood on her gloves so often that you need to carry around a spare pair on you in her size just in case?
I was worried about you, idiot! Someone from the military contacted me, so I
Military?
I think it would be fairly obvious that she didn't just decide to make her own way up there, isn't it?
They stayed true to their duty, and they helped the needy right up to the end. I respect their bravery. I wish that I could have had the chance to meet them.
Bullshit!
Do you have any idea what that psychopath did in Ishval? But what do I know? I've only got Lieutenant Hawkeye's experiences to go by.
Well, that, and you know he killed a bunch of officers during the war.
What'd you do that for?
Because life isn't fair!
That was messed up.
Buccaneer forgets that Winry is just 15 years old.
If we're not back within 24 hours, seal up this hole with concrete.
Very well then, I'll do so.
Who died and made you the boss? Creepy Salim is creepy.
I really shouldn't act so surprised, though. He is related to my husband, so he must have some of his genes.
I thought he was adopted, so how can he have some of King Bradley's genes? In episode 32 it was King Bradley himself who brought up the fact that Salim doesn't look like him.
A Philosopher's Stone.
Stone sound effects.
This place is...
Quickest way to be found again is to literally shout from the rooftops.
None of it would have happened if it weren't for the Elric brothers.
Elric brothers? I thought you said it was just Ed. Don't start lumping Al into this.
Damn it, let me go!
Alright, big guy. Why don't you take a little...
Al knocks the guy out with a chokehold in a single second. Not only does it take a lot longer to knock someone out this way, but he also looks like he's snapping the guy's neck.
I will kill you if you try to stop me.
I see Scar's joint issues haven't improved.
Yes, did you know my parents, Dr. Marco?
Of course I did. There isn't a single doctor who worked in Ishval that didn't know your parents' names. They did their duty without any regard to themselves.
Awkward.
Are you really that eager to get back to the old ball and chain? I'm sure you miss your daughter, but I doubt you miss your wife.
What about you? You were such a lousy drunk your own son couldn't stand to be around you for more than 5 minutes.
Unnecessary conversation is unnecessary. It's as though they're saying they might as well stay in their current forms and not even bother trying to revert back. Discount Howard Hughes.
I like the way you play. Very well.
Terminator 2, Fury's Judgment Day.
Okay, I'll tell you how you can achieve immortality.
Because anything with one eye and a creepy big smile like that is obviously trustworthy. The king was actually shown having died in the centre here, and so were some of his men, but now they're all outside the circle.
I'm sorry.
Could have given her some warning before plunging your hand into her stomach, dude.
Hey, hold on a minute. You're not planning on killing them, are you, Major? Of course we are.
He literally just said that the first chance you get, take all three of them out. So yes, Edward. Hirambi.
Isn't there ammonium nitrate in it too?
Yes, there is. And what's ammonium nitrate made out of?
That's easy. Nitric acid and ammonia.
Yeah. Don't tell me you guys didn't know that.
That sense of mercy is about to get you in a lot of trouble.
Terminator 3, Rise of the Kimberly.
That sense of mercy is about to get you in a lot of trouble.
Confusing slow motion, because Kimberly's still talking at a normal pace. Jesus Christ, how long is that beam? Lego Alphonse.
It's the countrywide transmutation circle.
It is indeed, Al, but how can you see it from floor level? Freak.
Pardon me. I confess I haven't been able to do any work, but would you please give just a little bit of food to these children?
No freeloaders.
Excuse me, miss. May I have some food?
Von Scrougenheim.
Most people tend to avoid Lior. There isn't much left here after the riots.
These guys would get the gold medal for spontaneous synchronized waving.
I'm guessing that you can only move freely within these tunnels in Central City. Am I right? I'll take that as a yes.
Removing a sin for an enemy that actually keeps its mouth shut about its powers during a battle.
This shouldn't be happening. Who guaranteed victory? What happened to the turncoats who would attack from the inside?
Their country deserves to be destroyed. They literally went to war because one stranger came over and said, I've got some men on the inside. They're weak now, so attack. Baka.
Are you serious, Doctor? You were one of the bigwig researchers at the 5th Laboratory?
I wasn't that important.
I wasn't that important. I was just in charge of the whole operation. Nothing serious. The fact that Envy didn't just do this at the start is a sin.
I've hijacked this idiot's body!
Managing to speak with its mouth flush against the skin.
Brother? I'm pretty sure he's at Briggs by now.
Oh. Last thing I heard, he'd gone missing.
What'd you say?
I know Envy actually told the truth here, but why would Alphonse instantly believe it?
There she goes.
Scar doesn't wave goodbye because he's too damn cool.
Is this man your brother?
I don't consider him my brother. Not after he deserted his country in Ishbal.
Yeah, that little whiny baby couldn't take slaughtering children. What a wuss. Am I right?
I saw Pinocchio recently. She told me about your body.
Awkward.
But then Ed got furious with me. He told me to stand on my own 2 feet. He said that? He can be a jerk sometimes.
Yeah, what horrible fucking advice telling someone to rely on themselves for support. Flexi pipes.
Did it ever cross your mind I might be on their side? You've given away your entire plan. Aren't you the least bit worried I might leak it to them?
Unnecessary suspense.
Destroying the tunnel seems like the best way to thwart them. And since it runs under Lior...
That's not a good idea. They've got an immensely powerful homunculus named Pride watching over the tunnel.
Couldn't you just throw a grenade in there or just use alchemy from the entrance since Pride can't physically leave the tunnel?
If you turned your back on something you wanted, you don't deserve to call yourself free!
This is an absolutely incredible scene from the series, showing off Troy Baker's excellent voice acting over a heart-wrenching moment. For this, I'll happily remove 5 sins. This episode starts off with a brilliantly thrilling battle, and I just love the whole way it was animated, so I'm going to go ahead and remove another sin.
And since these guys seem to follow me everywhere, you've got 2 chimeras on your team as well.
Who do you think you are? You don't get to make that call. He said you were our boss, pipsqueak.
Child abuse.
Hello there, Rebecca. Your aim is looking fine, but not nearly as fine as your...
Sexual assault. How did she manage to walk through the door and not see Ed sat directly across the room from the entrance eating a sandwich?
That's him, all right. I smell the FullMetal Alchemist brother, the little armored boy.
How did they know Alphonse would be taking that exact train? You can't tell me that Gluttony sniffed him out across an entire city. I'm guessing they don't have some kind of onboard computer system for uncoupling, but then I also don't see anyone physically doing it either. Must be magic. Terminator, Father's Salvation.
But I'm not doing it because you want me to help you. Our best chance at beating this guy is to team up. And that's the only reason I'm even talking to you right now.
Teenagers, am I right?
And once they're captured, I'll step in to restore order. They'll take the fall as enemies of the state, while General Grumman will heroically come riding in on a white horse.
Never really understood this turn in personality, considering the entire anime we're led to believe that Grumman is a good and loyal man, but here he turns to greed and selfishness. Yet when all is said and done, he pretty much reverts back to being a fairly decent guy again by the end of the series. Never really made much sense to me.
I've captured your friend, FullMetal. Ready to give up?
Greed could just use his ultimate shield, and then Pride can do whatever he wants to him and it wouldn't have any effect. Silly Greed. A fire with no electricity goes out. Go figure.
What happened to the power?
I don't know, but it's saving our asses. Pride can't cast any shadows without a source of light, and he's just as blind in this darkness as the rest of us.
If you already knew that, then you could have told FullMetal at the start of the fight.
I smell you, FullMetal Alchemist, and I smell greed.
Gluttony is a dick to trees.
Of course he'd bring gluttony.
That fat slob?
That's racist.
So I guess I'm an idiot! The first strike is mine!
Hirambi Part 2. Hirambi Strikes Back.
I'm glad to see you're okay. I was wondering when you'd find me. Lan Fan.
Lang Fan's epic return is epic, and for that I'm removing a sin.
The lights are starting to come back on. Which means Pride can use the shadows again.
I guess a simple solution here would be for one person to quickly run back and tell everyone not to turn the lights back on or to come give aid. How come all the others' skin and bodies can be damaged, and yet nothing seems to injure Pride?
How old are these photos? 20 years? And this one is over 50 years old.
The curious case of Benjamin Pride.
The woman who owns the bar, Madam Christmas, her real name is Chris Mustang. She's his foster mother.
Oh no, he's visiting his foster mother. Quickly run in and shoot them? First time it was weird enough, but now you've licked your lips a second time and it's really f***ing weird. So take a sin, you little bastard. No one does anything to attack Pride for 2 minutes and 45 seconds.